Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your mid-month reading. As always, keep in mind that this is only a general reading. Always check what it feels right and with what does resonate within your own life experiences during this time. If you would like to have a personal reading with me, please contact me through the email I put in the description box below. For the month of May, as usual, I have a special sales offer available. If you would like to know more details about it, you can read in the description box or you can email me with your questions. Down below, you can also find the current list of reading services I offer if you're wondering about it. And if you would like to donate and support my channel, you can also do that by following the PayPal link, which is also down below. So Sagittarius, I'll be channeling messages for the collective of your sign, and then we'll tie it together also with the cards that will be showing up. So Sagittarius, I do feel a little bit of a broken heart situation here for some of you. But it's interesting because I feel here like there are some of you Sagittarius that are breaking hearts as others are breaking your own. So it's like a cycle, like a chain of emotional circumstances that can be a little bit tricky. Like you might break someone's heart as much as someone else might break yours. There's a little bit of a karmic circumstance associated with this energy I'm picking on. So I do feel like there's situations coming up in a way where you're receiving some sort of karmic consequence for something. So if you feel like you are perfectly, in a perfect relationship, union, being in love or friendships or family, and something happens that doesn't feel fair, doesn't feel right to the current circumstances, there might be something beneath this event that can lead to heartbreak, separation, and things of that nature that could trace back to someone else's broken heart in which you might have had like this important role, this important responsibility over. So, but aside of this is just a hint for some of you and to for those of you that struggle to understand why certain difficult emotional events are taking place. For some, there's a karmic sense of retribution. For others of you, I just feel like you might be really sad to see something taking place, to see a friendship falling apart, a love interest, disappointing you deeply. I just feel like it's not the best time or the most facilitated times for romance and relationships, because I do feel like for many of you there's a lack of alignment, a lack of compatibility at a core level between the things you want to do and the things you're committed to do in this life versus what they are. And sometimes there's this lack of mutual ground to work on to sustain a relationship that needs to be evaluated for what it is. And unfortunately, I see Sagittarius dealing with this in the next weeks, and others of you maybe already have felt emotionally let down, and you were in this process of getting your heart recovered. It's a process of emotional recovery that it's difficult. I see that for many of you it's difficult because this is not about it's like no joke, a love that is no joke. So it is dealing with someone, or it was concerning someone you felt deeply, deeply, deeply for. So this is not like a lukewarm situation where the heartbreak is more easier we easier recover ourselves from, because the emotional impact or connection was not as deep. Now, I do see that you might have this strange sense of recognition as well all around you. Like, you could be interacting with new people and see old connections, you know, like it's like there's this distortion of sorts taking place. What I'm seeing here is that you might be dealing, for some of you, you might be dealing with new relationships, but you keep seeing and feeling and projecting things of the past into the present, the present participants in your life, being in a love sense or friendship. I keep getting that for many of you this is about romance, but it's like you're projecting a lot of the past into the present, and this is concerning. I see you might catch yourself doing this and really feel like you're a mess, like emotionally you're not, attuned the way you should be. You could be wondering if the deep wishes you have in your heart right now are even made possible for this world. So I do feel like there's a lot of questions also when it comes to, is it even possible to find the love I want, the satisfaction I want, the dreams I want to see coming true with this Knight of Cups in your soul position? Because for many of you, what it's even harder is that I feel like many of you know deeply, or you have this very deep awareness of what your wishes are. You have them pictured, you can envision them, you can see them, you can feel them, you can, be quite certain of specific dreams and wishes you have in your heart. But you're questioning if it's just that, if it's just a dream, if it's just a fantasy, as well as many of you are seeing yourselves questioning a lot if how you feel towards someone is real or not, or the hopes you have for a future opportunity, reconciliation, if it is real or not. Now, I see here a wounded child. I keep getting wounding. So this emotional energy might trace back a lot to how you were emotionally handled in your upbringing, and there might be a sense of understanding how your past is reflecting right now heavily in your present, and in terms of emotional circumstances, awareness, maturity, healing, and availability. Because I feel like maybe you are wishing for love, but are you really available for it? For others of you, you might have wounded, someone in your life that felt like, this feels like a heart of a child. So there's cases where maybe you've wounded an actual child emotionally. For others of you, someone younger, someone that was very emotional, vulnerable in your hands with their heart. All right. And I feel like you might be thinking a lot about this person being a child or being just a past fling. And if you catch yourself doing this, reflect upon it seriously, because I feel like there's some things for you to realize about this past circumstance. But I also feel like for others of you, it's like you are in a position where you can't help someone that does not want to be helped. You can't... It doesn't matter how much apologies you might make to someone, if they're not open to forgive you, let it go. All right, there might be situations where also insisting a lot because you have the specific you have the specific vision of who this person is in your life or could be in your life. So you don't want to let it go that easily. It's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. And the message here is to focus more on you. Because if they're not receptive to your love, to your attention, to your forgiveness, to your attempts to be a better person, let them be. Let them learn by themselves. Focus on being grateful. Focus on emotionally gathering the tools, the awareness that you need to keep manifesting good things for yourself and to overcome the things you still need to overcome that are a weight. I do see you might be worried with someone as well. Someone that you feel it's weaker, that needs protection, that needs guidance. Especially for Sagittarius that are parents, you could really be worried with a child, but this child seems not available to whatever you tell them. This could be a situation of a child that either there's a lot of hurt feelings between you and this child holds things against you, or you have been absent from this child's life. So it's like, how do I go back into this person's life? How do I win back their heart? So this week could be talking about child or anyone, or a love interest, or a friend. You want to, someone you feel you let down. This is the main energy here. Someone you feel you let down. It's a heavy energy. But I do feel like with the Nine of Cups, you do have a lot of hope. The hope is greater than the fear, which is nice to see. Or the love is greater than the fear. And so this makes it much easier. Much, much, much easier. Because you're protected. Your heart is in the right place. If you feel like your heart, or if someone has told you this, like your heart is not in the right place, you're centering yourself to have your heart and your priorities in the right place. I keep getting like no more fooling around, no more fooling around. So yeah, I do feel like you're ready, or you're becoming ready to be more emotional responsible, more emotional, have this emotional maturity coming to the front, this development of your emotional reactions. That it's very important because it's very different from the maturity that took place in your past. All right. So this weeks are about emotional reflection, emotional healing, wishful thinking, but also acknowledging and confronting mistakes and how it might be a little bit too late, all right, to hope that things would just return to its original state. But that doesn't mean that there's no way you can get, there's no way you can gain a second chance with a person or in life in general. Yes, maybe you were at fault. Maybe you had to learn to grow to this level. All right. But in your unconscious, you have the Empress. So you're definitely aligning yourself to be attracting the best of the best out there. But in order for you to attract that best match into your life, the things that match you, you need to be in your game, in your A game. And this is what you're aligning yourself heavily in Sagittarius, in Taurus season Sagittarius, is to become your best self. You might be in a situation where you have a lot of desires here. The desires you have right now can feel enormous. In life, your appetite is huge, intense. Your appetite for love, for luxury, for abundance, for nice things, nice places, nice people. So you're very hungry for the good things in life. And this hunger might make you at times pursue things blindly. And this is the only thing you need to just watch, is your tendency to move blindly. Think about tomorrow. Will you want to deal with the consequence? Will you want to deal with it? You sure that there's room for it to grow outside of the moment of pleasure? Because if there is, absolutely invest in it. But if it's not, if it's just something to fill the void, stop it. It's a past pattern here. I also feel like you could just be dealing with, for some of you, could be dealing with pregnancy. For some of you, could be dealing with the dream of becoming a mother or a father, or having here a very fulfilling relationship circumstance that would open doors for your happiness. You could be unconsciously attracting a very important figure in your life that could be like a wife material, all right? Wife material, husband material here. If you already have a wife or a husband, especially if you have children, let this time pass with, and if you're having problems, especially in terms of raising your children, let this time pass with less immaturity possible. The immaturity is the only thing working against this very interesting deep alignment that the universe is pushing you to have. I also see a lot of struggle, like a lot of moodiness. One day is feeling very deeply satisfied with yourself and with your life. Another day is feeling very unsatisfied. And you are also here in these energies where you could be in this type of scenarios where the ones that want you, you reject. The ones you want, they reject you. And so there's a loop, all right? There's a little bit of a loop taking place, that there's something deeper to look at this, all right? Especially if you're rejecting opportunities and people that really do come from a good place and that really come with a genuine heart to offer you something that maybe you're just not used to. That doesn't mean that it's not good, or could turn out to be good. So I hope you have a great mid-month. Hopefully we'll see each other soon.